let's move from Lekki to Ojota, where we have Kelly Giga also bringing us up to speed. Kelly, Ojota is a place designated by the government for people to converge on. Are you seeing anyone? What is going on? What can you tell us?
Well, absolutely, Kayode. We arrived here just about 10 or 15 minutes ago. It was a bit calm here. The protesters, pockets of protesters, I should say, just gathered and, of course, began to make their demands and grievances felt. But it turned a bit rowdy some moments ago, and that's why it is what it is here. But just before I tell you why and how things got this way, when we arrived here as well, we saw a heavy presence of security officials here. The police is here, the NSCDC is here. We can also see Vigilante. Lagos Neighborhood is here as well. Neighborhood Watch is also here. So there's a heavy presence of security officials here. Their trucks is also here. The trucks are here. We can also tell you that while we've been here as well, they've also had series of patrols from different teams as well, from the police and all of that on this same axis. But it was peaceful until a moment ago when some of the protesters told me behind camera that some boys had come to infiltrate the protest. Now they're not inside the Ganefa Himi Park. They are just outside. If you're conversant or familiar with Lagos, this is the Korodu Road. It takes you to mile 12. We're just a stone's throw away from mile 12. And so the allegation is that some persons are here to infiltrate the protest, to make it a bit violent and disrupt it. Pro-government protesters, they have tagged them. And so that's why it's a bit rowdy this way. But let's see if we can get in some views now and speak to one of the lawyers here. But I'm sure you can see placards with different inscriptions here. You can see this one says, place all political office holders on the minimum wage of just 70,000 naira, which was signed only by Mr. President a few days ago. I have one of the lawyers here for the protesters, and let him just bring us up to speed with what exactly has played out the last few hours. Please come. What's your name, please?
My name is Justice Ojeno.
All right. I understand that you're one of the lawyers for the protesters, or to the protesters. What exactly has just played out a few moments ago?
Okay, what played out was since yesterday. I was here. I was on ground since yesterday, and the calisthenics of the exchanges between persons who are for the protest and persons who are against the protest is what just played out again. It played out yesterday in that while as a lawyer I recognize and acknowledge the right to freedom of expression, association and movement as encapsulated in sections 39, 40 and 41 of our constitution of the persons who are for the protest. I also acknowledge that the persons who are against the protest too have such rights. But where the red line has been crossed both yesterday and almost about to be crossed today is when the people who are against the protest are actually now trying to physically assault and threaten. We saw that happen yesterday, threatening persons who are for the protest. And that's where we come in and we say no. And we are very, very happy and impressed so far with what the police, members of the Nigerian police force and other law enforcement have been able to do so far. They've been able to maintain the peace. But for them, we know that the person against the protest would have practically just made the life of the persons who are for the protest a living hell, and the protest will almost likely not have been sustainable.
I wonder what's the plan now. This number of protesters we can see here, are we expecting more protesters? What's the plan for the movement?
Okay, hopefully, it's my hope and prayer that more persons come to join. I'm not and ensure that the rights of anybody who is here and for the protest, and of course the persons who are also against the protest, are fully protected and ventilated in a local. You can see the way I'm dressed. In the event that any of them are arrested, we are willing and we will speedily rush to our courts to ask for their fundamental human rights to bail. And we are very, very sure that we will be able to get it.
All right, thank you so much. So there you go, the lawyer to the protesters, bringing us up to speed with what just played out a moment ago. So it's a bit calm now, but so a moment ago it was rowdy. I tell you what, good commendation there for the police from the lawyers because there's a heavy presence of police officers. The last time I did a live crossing was somewhere at Berger area, and apart from the RRS vehicle, which is always stationed at the Berger Junction, we did not see any other security presence on our way to this place until we got here and saw trucks and saw officials of the police, the NSCDC, Lagos Watch, all of them just here. Guys.
Thank you so much, Kelly.